What's going on, everybody? It's Rick from Gardening with Barchuckin. I'm planning on planting my corn here. This is a 4x8 bed. I'm going to start just with the 4x4 section, and really today I'm only planting half of this. So it'll be 2 feet by 4 foot across, and I'm going with a heavy, intense planting of this. I'm going to actually plant about 32 plants today, and then in another 2 weeks I'll plant another 32 back here. So in a 4x4 I'll have 64, and then eventually I'll have another 64. So it will be a total of 128 corn plants in this area. This is the first time I'm planting corn, but I have seen and heard people say you can plant it kind of intensely because of the way it needs to pollinate. So this is going to be a little experiment too. I was out here already today, and I removed, if you can see just at that halfway point, there was like some white mulch, shredded paper that I had covering this. I removed that and kind of loosened this soil, and then I have my compost that I'm going to go ahead and add right here, right now. I did go ahead and sift this compost, so you can see it is just a little bit finer. And this is totally loaded with worms. I'm going to go ahead and kind of turn this compost into the soil just a little bit. I am going to add a balanced organic fertilizer. It's a 3-4-4, so that means 3% nitrogen, 4% phosphorus, and 4% potassium. So corn is a pretty heavy feeder. So there's one handful in that section. There's another handful there. So 2 kind of large handfuls. I'm going to go ahead and work this into the ground. I definitely want to make sure it has enough nutrients to get going, because once again, this is going to be a pretty high intensity planting of it. I had winter rye as a cover crop in here, so here's some of the roots. Well, when I measured the bed, I was a little disappointed. Instead of being 48 inches, it was 46. So to fix it, I went and started the first 2 sticks on the edges at 5 inches, and then the other sticks are at 6-inch spacings. So I still have my 6-inch spacing. Now I'm going to use this tent spike as a dibber. So I made a mark at 2 inches, and then I'm just going to push it into the ground, and once my fingers touch the soil, I know the dibber went in 2 inches. As I start doing this tent spike, using it as a dibber, I'm placing it in, and I'm actually wiggling it around so it makes the hole a little larger, so I can drop the seed all the way down to the bottom of the hole. And here's where I have my fingers pinched for the 2-inch mark for the dibber. I soaked the corn in a mason jar for about 3 hours before I planted. Now all I'm doing is dropping the corn over all 28 holes. So I'm just making sure that I have all the corn covering or near each one of the holes. Now I'm taking my dibber and I'm making sure to push the corn into the hole and making sure that it falls to the bottom, so I can hopefully get good germination out of all these corn seeds. Here's my worm castings. I'm adding about a tablespoon over each one of the planting holes. So hopefully that can help infuse a little bit of good nutrients and biodiversity for the corn. Here's the corn that I'm using. It's a sweet corn. When I opened up the package, there was 55 kernels in here, and it's a 65-day variety. That's called Silver and Gold Hybrid. Make sure, if you guys aren't subscribed, you subscribe so you can come follow and see how this high intensity corn planting works. Let me know down in the comments if you've ever tried anything like this, or if you tried growing corn at all. If you guys have any questions about growing corn or anything gardening, make sure you drop it down in the comments. Thanks for coming along checking out this video. Everybody have a great day.